In this episode, we talk about the secret sauce to success, and that is accountability. We've all experienced our motivation dwindle away. We might start a new project or program, and then before we know it, we're right back to where we started.
So in this episode, we'll dive into motivation a little, pose some powerful questions, and illustrate why the missing link is the right support from the right people, something we know of from our own personal experience. Hi, I'm James Davis.
And I'm Claire Davis.
We're the Midlife Mentors, here to lift the lid on how to achieve health and happiness.
The balanced, no-nonsense way.
Welcome to another episode of the Midlife Mentors with me, James.
And me, Claire. So we are recording this the day before it goes live, and we do believe it is the hottest day of the year across the UK.
I think it is. I might have rain up north.
Up north. I love the way we did actually have a hilarious comment from someone the other day when we did one of our podcasts. I think it was actually the one that we did with Katie, the HRT one. We said we were going up north. And we did laugh because we sounded like we were real southerners, actually, because we said we were going to Shropshire and someone came back saying, at least we called it out ourselves and said, obviously, Shropshire is not north. But you saying up north has just made it sound like we're even worse southerners than people think we are already.
Anyway, well, let's talk about what happened when we went up north.
Yes.
But this episode is all about, it's a little bit about motivation, a bit about the psychology of motivation, and about accountability, because it's a really, really important subject, right? We're going to illustrate, actually, with personal stories.
Yes, we are.
Because we've experienced this quite recently.
The highs and the lows of having it and not having it.
That's what we're going to talk about. But first, what have we been up to?
Well, we did go up north.
We did go up north, or to the Midlands, to this the Orbit Fitness Festival, which was fantastic. We spoke there. We're doing 2 workshops. We did the science of staying young and then staying healthy and happy through the peri-menopause and menopause.
No, you're going to be transparent about this. I am going to be slightly transparent about this because this is what I have to put up with, people. I arrived at the event. Obviously, James had organised it, which is amazing because this is one of the amazing thing about James is he creates lots of connections, which is awesome. And we get lots of opportunities through James putting out... putting his feelers out and everything. And the Orbit Fitness Festival was a lovely opportunity. But I got there and I looked at the programme and I thought I was delivering a workshop on the science of stress, which is another workshop we do for corporates. And then I read it and it was the science of staying young, which was hilarious. And then I'm gonna say it. There was another...
At least I had the right time, Claire. At least I had the right time. I knew we had a 12 o'clock slot.
Yes, that's something. And then in the afternoon, he didn't know whether we were definitely doing a workshop, and I only found out that we definitely were in the afternoon. So we kind of... So if anyone's listening to this, because we did make lots of new friends and connections at the Orbit Fitness Festival.
Hello, if you're listening.
Oh, we loved meeting you. You were just the best audience.
Great day out, wasn't it? Apart from those rain showers that are quite ferocious.
But yeah, if you were in any of those workshops and you're listening to this, then it was slight winging it. But you seem to absolutely love it, which brings us so much joy, and we made so many connections. Also brings us on to what we've been doing this week, which is the 4-day mini course on optimising hormone health and hacking our metabolism. Completely free course. Loads of the Orbit Fitness Festival people were on that as well.
Yeah, so this is something we came up with. We're like, oh, you know what? We should talk a bit more about hormones and metabolism, how they're changing as we age, and what you can do with lifestyle hacks to actually, work with them and help reset your metabolism, get it firing again. So we came up with this free mini course idea, and oh my goodness,
nearly
hundreds
300,
of people
nearly
sign up to it. It's been amazing engagement. People have sent us gifts to say thank you for running it. If you missed it, we will do it again at some point. But we can only obviously in 4 days just scrape the surface, and we gave away loads of tons of information that's actionable. But there's so much more, and it is complex. So fitting it all together the right way is crucial.
Yeah.
So we are launching, or have launched, a 21-day Optimising Your Hormones and Resetting Your Metabolism course. So that is going to start on Monday the 27th.
Yes, we're
it's
so
going to be
excited.
2 live sessions a week with Claire and I, plus loads of support materials, plus we're uploading it all afterwards, and it's just going to be amazing.
Yeah, because actually it is difficult to put it all together yourself, and we know this. This actually leads us into the whole motivation and accountability piece, because why would we be experts about putting all this stuff together? I gave the example this morning when I said, if I'm buying a house, I'm not going to do it all myself. I'm going to go to an expert that's helped other people do it. And this is our field. This is our passion. This is what we've helped hundreds of midlifers do, right? And it is a complex issue. The hormones, the metabolism, no one necessarily knows how to fit it all together. So this is for you if you are struggling to lose weight. And you're losing confidence in your body, you're losing confidence in yourself, you're avoiding social situations, you might avoid looking in mirrors, it might even be that your relationship isn't as intimate anymore because of the way you feel about yourself. And this isn't your fault, this is all down to hormones and your metabolism. So we've just had a lady that's messaged us saying she's lost 9 pounds, putting some of the stuff already, and it's much more complex. I'm like, look at how much else you could do. She's already lost 9 pounds in 4.5 days, basically. So it's 4 days, just from applying some of the stuff that we've taught her. So imagine what we can do with you for 21 days, holding that space for you, keeping you accountable, giving you loads of support. So we would love you to join us on that. I will put the link in the show notes for that. But if any of that resonated, we have got your back.
Yeah, we're so excited to run that. And just in case you're listening to this weekend and going, 27th, anyone that signs up now, but also we like doing bonus activities and stuff in this week to keep momentum going for people.
Yeah, and also it's really important to say you're going to get 6 months access to it. So it's not like if you can't start on the 27th, there's no pasa nada, as we say in Spanish, but with a little bit of a better accent than that. It doesn't matter, because actually it's going to be in your portal, and you won't fall behind. All that information is going to be there. But this is the only live version of this we're going to be doing. Other than that, it's just going to be available for you to buy. So get in now while you can have us live twice a week.
Yeah. Which brings us nicely on to today's topic, which is motivation and accountability. And the two are quite nicely linked. So we're not going to really deep dive into motivation, but we're just going to, the headline on motivation research is that motivation, the amount of motivation you have varies from person to person. It's going to vary from task to task, situation to situation, but it is finite. So we have this this reserve of motivation that will be filled in the morning and then drain through the day, which is why we love getting up and getting our stuff done really early. We love hitting the gym early. We encourage our clients to do it. And one of the things we coach our client on is this horrible phrase, eat the frog, Think the night before about what's the worst task you can do, and then just get up and do it first thing so it's out the way, and you find the rest of your day flows so much easier.
Yeah, and it's really important to say no one's born with motivation, especially the things that are around the things that they don't want to do, like James just mentioned there. Obviously, we're going to have motivation to do the things that we love, but actually there might be some goals that we're going after that actually we're not motivated at the beginning to do, but the getting started part is the hardest bit. Once you get going, momentum breeds momentum. So that also helps you cultivate motivation. Motivation isn't just something like confidence that you're born with. Some people are born with it a little bit more, but motivation is something you cultivate and grow over time. And as you start to do that, you grow in self-trust and self-belief, and then it gets easier to motivate yourself. And it's always that first step that is the hardest, and that is where that support and accountability right at the beginning is really, really important.
Absolutely that. So the other thing is keeping your motivation going needs also a really strong why. So it's something that we deep dive into with clients, because as an example, you might have a job and you're given a task to do, but actually there's no motivation. Motivation can be either intrinsic or extrinsic, right? Extrinsic is when there's an external reward for it, if you hit this target, you'll get a bonus. And that might motivate you. Intrinsic is when you're doing it for yourself. And actually, extrinsic is really nice, but intrinsic actually can be more powerful for us. And it's connected to that emotional why. Why do you want to be fitter? Why do you want to be healthier? Why do you want to feel good? Well, it could be to set a good example to your kids. It could be to get a close relationship with your partner, feel more comfortable with them.
Go to social engagements, get into that go on summer holiday and be able to get into your swimsuit and feel comfortable and not keep hiding yourself.
It could be that you're around for longer for your kids and your grandkids and you're still active and able to play with them. So those things are really powerful whys are going to be the driver. So when motivation drops off, you can then use those to pick you up. But of course, doing it yourself is really, really hard. There's no getting around that. And that's where the accountability part comes in.
Yeah, I just also want to say on this, just a couple of questions that you can ask yourself is, to motivate yourself, what does the next 6 months, year, 3 years look like if I don't do anything about this right now? If I keep pressing the snooze button, if I keep going after the quick dopamine hit of that chocolate bar after my dinner, like what does life look like if I don't start motivating myself to make these changes right now? And another one that really resonates with lots of people is, and this is a great motivator as well, because it kind of gives you a different perspective. A lot of the time we are asking ourselves the wrong questions. Our subconscious mind loves questions anyway, but what we do is we tend to ask ourselves the wrong questions. Like, instead of asking ourselves, what if this doesn't work? Ask yourself, what if it does work? What happens if this does work? What does life look like if this does work? And also, what would I do today if I knew I couldn't fail? Because a lot of the time it's a lack of self-belief, it's a lack of self-trust that makes us procrastinate, and then it's harder to get motivation going and going and going. So actually asking yourself, like, what would I do today if I knew I couldn't fail? And actually, if you're looking down that line at 6 months, year, 3 years down the line, and you knew you weren't going to fail, you would get up and do the things you need to do in order to get that life, in order to be that person. So there's some motivating strategies, basically, that we use, just some of them, to get people starting to think in a different way.
Yeah. So your motivation is finite. It's going to wane. It's going to come and go. On the days where you're full of it, of course, things are easy. On the days when it's not there, they can be tough. And this is when you need accountability, which is the other part of the equation, right? So accountability, you can have accountability to yourself, of course, but that kind of relies on your motivation as well, right? So having accountability to someone else, again, loads of research on this, shows that you're more likely to succeed at your goal. And that could be as simple, at the most simple level, as telling someone you trust about what you're going for. Because here, there's loads of research on this. When you actually voice to another person, make public what you're going for, you're more committed to that goal.
You don't want to let them down.
Secret.
You don't want to let them down.
You don't let them go, and also your ego's playing a part in not wanting to say, I said I was going to do that and I didn't.
Yeah, that's so true.
That on its own can be quite a powerful motivator. But of course, we want more than that. So what I want to do is start looking for ways we can be supported and guided, right? So telling someone you trust is the first step. That gets your ego involved in a positive way. And it's out there. You publicise your goal. But of course, you want people that are going to help you and guide you and cheerlead you as well. So this is where I say the next level up from this is looking for groups that you can join or communities. And they can be in real life or they could be virtual, right? So if you wanted to suddenly become a better runner, you might join a running club, for example, because running with other runners, you're going to learn technique, you're going to get lifted up, you've got to turn up at a certain time every day. If you don't go, you know that you're probably going to get left behind on the next time, etc., etc. So all these factors start to come into play.
Yeah, absolutely. And the next level up from that, and this is the experience we wanted to talk to you about, because again, we want to be super transparent with you, because even the motivation side of it, there are times when our motivation wanes, we've got each other. But there's sometimes when, in the business, of course, there's moments, there's bits and pieces that I do love, there's bits and pieces that I don't love. That's when the whole eat the frog, do the thing you don't want to do first thing in the day, so it's not just weighing on you. Because that's another thing, by the way, that whole eat the frog thing. Once you get it out of the way, it's stopped harassing you in your head for the rest of the day, and you feel lighter and freer to do the things that you love. So we've experienced that too. There are things definitely that I don't like doing, like spreadsheets and all that sort of stuff, and I still try and avoid them by passing them to James. But accountability, the story we wanted to tell you about this is we are not shy about literally the money coming in and then investing it in the right people, the right coaches for our business and personally. James and I have both had personal coaches, hypnotherapists that we've worked with to work through limiting beliefs that we've had and move us to the next level personally. But we've always invested in good people. Sometimes we've made some mistakes and then we've learnt from them. But over the winter, we didn't actually, it was a few months where we didn't have a coach. The winter just gone where we didn't have a coach. And we found that we really stagnated. And it was a light bulb moment. We know this stuff that we're teaching you, and we're talking about here, and yet we weren't doing it for ourselves. And it was a light bulb moment for both of us of like, oh my goodness, we need to invest in the coach that we used to invest in, who helped us massively. She's going to help level us up. She's going to show us, put little breadcrumbs out saying, look, guys, follow these breadcrumbs and you'll get to X, Y, and Z. And the thing is, once we did that, my goodness, we had someone that believed in us and our potential. Sometimes when we kind of, our belief in ourselves had waned a little bit, she lifted us up. We leveled ourselves up just by being in her space and the community space. We propelled forward like you wouldn't believe. And then since then, we've hired a couple of other coaches in different areas and we're flying. It's something that James and I have discussed. We will never do that again. We will never not have those people behind us ever again, because it's so important. In order to succeed, it supercharges and speeds up your ability to achieve your goal. And this is what people say when they work with us. You know, we put those breadcrumbs out for people and say, do this, do that. You can't necessarily put it all together yourself. You're struggling. We've got 100% amazing results, testimonials from people that were just like you, and they followed this process and they got this result. They now feel powerful, strong, connected to themselves, connected to life. They feel like they can, rock that swimsuit. They are having better sex. They are having better conversations at work. They're starting those new businesses. It's that exciting once you start to level up. And they say that we are the sum of the 5 people that we are surrounded by.
Yeah.
And that's really powerful. So I want you right now to think, the 5 people that I surround myself with, how do I feel around those people? What are they? Do they inspire me? Do they lift me up? Are they living a life that I would love to live? Are they showing me what's possible? And if they're not, and here's the thing, it might not always be the case, but if they're not, you need to go out and seek those people, because sometimes you don't believe in yourself, but you can borrow belief.
I was going to say that. Borrowing belief is really powerful. That's really common when clients come to us. They're like, oh, I've tried so many things before. I just don't know. I don't know if I believe. I said, because I believe in you guys, but I don't know if I believe in me.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, listen, if you follow what we're going to tell you to do, it's going to work. So just borrow our belief in yourself and get there, and it works.
Yeah,
absolutely works. And we do the same for our coaches. We're not sure, and they'll be like, borrow our belief, and it works.
Yeah,
it's a really powerful tool.
It really, really is, and that connection and that being in a community of like-minded people, it's honestly priceless. It is the thing that we invest in, and we will never let go ever again, because the difference it's made in the last few months to us is phenomenal. And we see that with our clients, and it's the missing piece. It is the missing piece of the puzzle because of that motivation element. We're not always motivated. We don't always believe in ourselves. We want to, our subconscious mind's always going to seek the path of least resistance, pleasure over pain. So it's going to tell you that something over here is way more important than going over there. And that's when you need a good network. That's when you need people shining a light for you, saying, over here, over here, over here, you can make it. But you just need to stay a little bit longer, and we've got you. We're holding your hand and showing you the way. And it's why we love what we do, and it's why we love to connect with you. We've made so many beautiful relationships over the last 4 days. We never take it for granted. We're so honoured, aren't we?
Yeah, it's been a most amazing experience.
It really has. It's blown us away. So, I suppose this did come out of seeing what people got out of the 4-day free mini course, and then how many people have already signed up to continue their journey in the 21-day hormone health and resetting the metabolism course, because they've got so much from it. They want to maintain that momentum, and they want us to hold space for them, and we will do it willingly and gladly with so much love. So if you feel like that's something that really resonates with you, and I'm sure it does, then just follow that link that I'm going to put in the show notes. It'll be all over our social media. I'm sure it'll be on our website somewhere at some point. And And we just can't wait to support you, keep you accountable, get you to your dreams and your desires, because you deserve it so much.
Yeah, can't wait to see you and connect with you. We'd love your thoughts on the show, of course, so feel free to contact us, team@the-Midlife-Mentors. You can find us on our Instagram handle, Midlife Mentors. We're now on TikTok at The Midlife Mentors.
We are! I managed to get at The Midlife Mentors. It was a little whoop moment. We are on TikTok. I haven't done as much over the last week, but watch out, world, because we're about to go big on TikTok. So, that'll be a big platform for us, so we're excited. But that's it. We are sending you so much love, and catch up with you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
You've been listening to The Midlife Mentors with Claire and James Davis.
We'd love to hear from you, so drop us a line at info@themidlifementors.com with any questions or topic suggestions.
And make sure you join us on our Facebook page and YouTube channel. You can find us under The Midlife Mentors.
Yeah.